Game with the 50-50. Game with the 50-50. All right, ladies, you got your fans? All right, now let's do a little work about let's here we go, y'all. I don't know if y'all know, but Westlove and the 478 band. It's like, real quick. Ladies, looking, hey guys, looking really well. All right, y'all, for the menu. Game with the 50-50. Game with the 50-50. All right, ladies, you got your fans? All right, now let's do a little work about let's here we go, y'all. I don't know if y'all know, but Westlove and the 478 band. It's like,
Grand Rising, everyone. Grand Rising. Can you guys hear me? Grand Rising. Good morning. Grand Rising, everyone. Fans and family. Grand Rising. This is the day that God has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. I remember as a little girl singing that song every morning when you enter Sabbath school. We were 70 Adventists, so you enter Sabbath school. But shout out to Nosy Rosie Graham, Nosy Graham Reigns and Black Titan. Hope all is well. Love to see the ladies get their dance on. Dancing is good for the soul, but Nosy Rosie Graham, when you give me these, bless me in my heart like that, it makes me keep coming back. It makes me know that somebody appreciate me trying to deliver a little Black history to them. Because sometimes it gets to be a little, I guess, I just want to say sometimes I just feel like you guys don't be listening to me when I'm teaching Black history. I would love for you guys to talk back to me. It don't matter. It don't have to be what I'm talking about, but there's something in history that you know about that you can talk back to me. But today, do y'all remember? We'll be talking about post-traumatic slave stress with Dr. Joy Degruy. And when I look at this thing, this love and marriage Huntsville, I'll be like, oh my God, well, how all these people are mentally insane on that show. And they're following the lead of Carlos CK. He just sit up there and grin and giggle when they dive in deep. And he thinking that they are about to mentally stress Melody out. He get to kick in and then he dive even deeper. Whoever heard of somebody, you had all those couples on that stage, but he gonna dive deep into this woman intimate relationship that she have in her bedroom with her husband, y'all. He could have went there. Why didn't he choose Maurice and Kimmy to go out? Because after all, Maurice admitted that he has 6 women or more per day. He can go with 6 women or more per day. He said it. We saw Kimmy in the pool licking all on Tisha's neck, and then we saw Maurice in the background with another one, as if they do threesome allegedly. But these people are admitted, or they showed that they are open for these kinds of relationship. With some marriages are open for those kinds of threesome. But yet you will show us and you will keen in on this woman, Melody Cherie, bedroom activity that she had with her husband. I didn't get the whole damn shit. Am I the only one peeping that this girl is talking about all in this woman's bedroom, all in her privacy, talking about destiny, all in the privacy? But we're talking about post-traumatic slave syndrome today. When you don't recognize that something is going on with you mentally, I didn't know what other direction to take it. It's a psychological condition, y'all. Something going on with all of them psychologically. It's so far beyond Melody fans and Melody supporter that is just undescribable. But we do recognize that something is going on that has been passed down to that cast. It's multi-generational trauma. And they want it inflicted on Melody, and they want her to stay right there in that trauma. No, you can't go nowhere. You got to stay right here in this trauma. She done moved on, y'all. She divorced from this man, not just no few months. Not no 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, but going on 6 damn years. She divorced from this man, but yet they want her to live and swim in that trauma that this man put her in. So the whole cast, something wrong with y'all mentally. But Dr. Dr. Joy, do y'all know Dr. Joy? Dr. Joy Degruy, she's still alive, y'all. The woman is very much still alive, and that's what she talks about. Post-traumatic slave syndrome, you guys. We never dealt with that. We never have got any help from that. Here she is. She's talking to, if y'all look at her, I'm looking at her. Y'all need to go back and really check this video out, because she's talking to 95% of a white audience, and she's describing to them how slavery has affected y'all too. Y'all have normalized trauma. Y'all have normalized violence. And so that's what we see on that stage, violent to them, to Love and Marriage Huntsville case. They want to normalize it. What is post-traumatic slave stress? It refers to the concept of a psychological condition often called PTSS, post-traumatic slave syndrome, which describes the multi-generational trauma experience by African America. We can say that we've been affected by some trauma, but we're talking about 400-500 years of trauma that nobody never got healed from. There was no such thing as going to a psychiatrist if you was a slave. So all this trauma is just passed down from generation to generation, multi-generational trauma experienced by African America, stemming from centuries of slavery and ongoing systemic racism. The term is associated with the work of Dr. Joy Degruy. That's her beautiful lady. That woman is on fire. She argues that the continuous oppression and lack of healing contribute to the enduring trauma across generations. So what is the core of Love and Marriage Huntsville cast? What is the core, and why do they continue on this cast? It's just unbelievable. Good morning. It's just, you going to work this morning? Yeah. All right, sweetheart. Anyway, there are multi-generational. Every last one of them in there. And then you got Melody that did not stay in there because her mother gave her the tools from early on as a child. Those tools were still into her head to have self-esteem. How do Melody continue to have access to healing if she's amongst all these people who is psychologically damaged? They are so, it's gone, y'all. They gone. They are gone. They are not normal. What we looking at is not normal. And Carlos trying to normalize this shit. He gets up on the screen and tell us, oh, these professional, we got some professional contractors that's building motels, power couples, and yet he wants us to look at these people as powerful, successful, intelligent. Something psychological wrong with these people and this man if he wants us to think that something is great about these people and this cast. What is the impact this mental health gonna do on this woman. She had to get away. She created this show. I like to play this show, this one right here, because it shows her as being a powerhouse all by herself. A powerhouse all by herself. That's what she is, y'all. Thank you, Queen Common Sis, for coming in today. I saw y'all over there at Pinky last night. I went to sleep on Pinky, y'all. I was waiting and waiting. Y'all, I know this just off the subject. I was waiting to go over there to be over Pinky so bad last night, but I had traveled from Huntsville back home. So, but shit, I was in another world. But anyway, shout out to y'all last night. I know y'all had a good time over there last night, Queen. I believe you was over there with Pinky. But anyway, you guys, she is a powerhouse all by herself. She did the healing. She did the work, but they want her to stay in that mess. They want her to wallow in that shit with them. Let me do house rules, then I'll come back over here and say hi to y'all. These people, damn. These people would get on your nerves, y'all. They will work your goddamn nerve. You have to take a break from them. I don't see some of y'all content creators, y'all good, y'all strong, because y'all be all through the day, every day. I can't handle these people like that. I can't handle them like that, y'all. Okay, let's see what let's do house rules. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, you guys. Allowance is made for use for the purpose of teaching, criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. For the rising of the sun to the going down of it, may you be blessed. May you be blessed, you guys. And we have to take time out and heal mentally, y'all. Every last one of us been impacted by this post-traumatic slave stress. And I tell y'all get mad. Some people, I be sitting down. Nobody never taught me this, but I never will stand up and salute or say the Pledge of Allegiance. It just wasn't right. I didn't know why, but I used to get in trouble. So once I got a little old enough to read, I read up on what that meant when you are saluting that flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag for my God. You praying for number one. If you are a Christian, God said don't have no idols, but you're idolizing the flag. But that was not it. I had to go deeper. I learned that was meant to dehumanize us. That pledge allegiance to the flag, when that man wrote that, had nothing to do with us. It was about conquering our people, taking our land, stripping us of everything, and then we get up and praise it. Cognitive dissonance, because you don't read. You sitting up there honoring the murder of your loved one and your ancestors when you pledging that flag. Just look at those stars. Each star on that flag represents a conquered state. And to conquer a state, what do, y'all? They go in and delete everybody in that state and take it over. And who did this country belong to? It belonged to our loved ones. They took our land, got rid of all our people, and then we got the nerve to sit up and praise that. That's what you do when you pledge in the flag. But this right here, This Amazing Grace. I'm on post-traumatic slave syndrome. Dr. Joy talks about cognitive distance. When this man, Mr. John Newton, wrote Amazing Grace, it's got to be one of the most popular songs that is. Everybody in church singing this song. When this man was dehumanizing, that song is dehumanized black people. His grace and his mercy was because he was superior to the slaves. He was a slave owner and a slave catcher. His grace and his mercy, the song that he wrote was because he was superior. That we were not human beings after all. That's how he rectified being a slave owner. He wrote that song, how grateful he was for being that color that he was, and how spiritual he was with God because God had made him superior to be these slave owners. That's the meaning of Amazing Grace. Y'all go look at Amazing Grace. Amazing Grace dehumanized black people. That song, so we call it cognitive distance because our people love that song. And then we grow up because the children don't know no better. You grow up singing at him, crying and shit. I remember crying to that song. My mama cried to that song. I used to cry to that song because mama cried to the song. This is John Newton, that song. Amazing Grace. And his amazing grace is that he was born a clear person. He was born superior. He was born to enslave us. That's what his grace was about. It ain't got nothing to do with y'all. It dehumanized us. That's what that song is doing. Just like when you pledge allegiance to the flag. Cognitive dissonance. And if you look at what's going on today right there on Love and Mary Huntsville, every last one of them on that stage suffer with that. Say hi to y'all. Queen says hi. Grand Rising Queen. Queen saying hi to TNT. Emu Potentials, hello. TNT, hello. Happy Monday to you guys. I'm so glad to be back home. I be running up and somebody gave me a $5 super sticker. Thanks, Queen, for the super sticker. Thanks, Nosy Rosa Graham. Thank you also. I just love your Black History lesson. I'm 70 years old. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Learned so much about our history. Watching you, please don't ever stop. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Ophelia, hello. Grand Rising to you. She says, good morning, beautiful Black Titanic. Grand Rising Creole girl. She's speaking to Queen. Of course, Queen gave me a sticker. Miss B. Jackson, where you at? They speaking to Miss B. Jackson, but I don't see you, Miss B. Jackson, but I know you're there because they speaking to you. Sexy chocolate. Grand Rising BT saying chocolate. So we're going to get into this, y'all. Creole girl, yes, ma'am. Here you go, Miss B. Jackson. Thanks for being here. Grand Rising to you this beautiful morning, you guys. And Nosy gonna come in with, Nosy gonna keep me coming with this Black history. Well, today we're gonna be doing post-traumatic slave stress. That's the only thing I could think of. There's nothing else that you could think of. But if you go back to, let's go back here to talk about this right here. Talk about this right here. I know Martell disrespect Ari again and again. Ken is pissed. Dr. Joy Degruy. We're going to get into Dr. Joy. I ain't going to show y'all a little clipping of Dr. Joy, but y'all need to go back and listen to this. Now on this stage, these people right here, Arians over there at shout out to area over there. What's his name, y'all? Anthony. Shout out to Anthony because I did take some stuff from Anthony, you guys. Arian is over there to Anthony, and she's still like I call it cognitive dissonance because she is over there thinking that this man loves her so much he want to marry her. What is exactly what is she suffering from psychologically? Then there's Ken and Trish. They on that stage, and Carlos is grueling this woman. If you see this psychological thing that Carlos wants to pull us in, it's the same old trio with Martell and his women's, right? They have brought Trish on. As a matter of fact, I believe they brought Trish on to humiliate Melody, right? But Melody, her self-confidence is back up. Her self-confidence is not shattered, you guys. But they keep trying to take action to bring her back down to that trauma. He on stage questioning this girl about their relationship with Martell. Here we go again, Arian. The man said that he did bang her. Then he turned around and said he was playing. Y'all, the man was not playing. All right, you guys. I'm gonna put this through. Let's just go with the Love and Marriage Huntsville first, and then we're gonna go into the cognitive dissonance. Oh Lord Jesus, these people up here, they are a work to be worked with. How y'all doing up so early? 7:36 at my neck of the wood. What time is it in your neck of the wood? Yeah. Thanks for being up here with me, you guys. Thanks for being up.
I didn't know if he didn't want me to know him or he didn't want to know me. I was like, okay, if he didn't mention it, am I supposed
hide it?
To fall back and not say anything? Or is there something, I don't know, how does this work? I'm still learning new to this because nothing happened, so it was okay.
You're very new to telling the truth. Oh, that's all you have to tell everybody. Nothing happened, is all okay. But you went to you didn't go to the man's house. You didn't really know the man. Then when you find out that they say you went over his house, he needed training. You had to train him, strictly job related. Then Martell busted you said more than one time. Oh.
Have you and Martell ever had sex?
No.
Have you and Martell ever kissed?
No.
Has Martell ever sent you pics?
No.
Have you ever sent pictures to Martell's phone?
No.
Has Martell ever said he wanted to sleep with you?
No.
Have you ever...
And you know what? That's the jealousy coming from him. He's sitting up there. He's going to know those things. That remind me of Coleslaw. When Coleslaw was supposed to be up there interviewing that woman and Marceau and Uncle Festus, what they did in Credit One, she went off and started asking the same kind of questions about Martell that this man asked. Did he sound like, oh, y'all hear that?
Wanted to sleep with Martell?
No.
So when you went over his house, what happened?
We just talked about his marriage. He was going through a divorce, and so was I. He did express,
She said, so was I. You still married. You ain't going through no divorce. You still married. You're going through a divorce, and so was I. So that means that you were married, a married woman over this man's house, and this man was married. That's why Melody can't trust you, boo. Cause, you never tried to work on a relationship.
But you still loved her. He did. It was nothing sexual. And like I said, despite what people say out there about Martell, he did not try to hit on me while we were there. He did not try to come on to me. He did not try to do anything.
Hardee's original bag packs 2 full-size favorites plus fries and a drink for just $5.99. No junior bourbon.
So it's like that right there was pissing me off. Because I'm like, it was escalated bigger than what it was. Nothing happened.
Marcel act like he in another line. He's so zoomed out.
Do you believe that nothing happened, Melody, between Trisha and Martell?
Why are you asking me?
Could you sit next to me?
I don't know Trish, you know what I'm saying, to really speak to her character, or unfortunately I do know my ex. And when it comes to my ex, I mean, I know he'll anything that got legs.
Oh, yikes.
I don't know Trish to speak to that because I definitely know. So I definitely know how Martell is. So maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I wasn't there. So
I say we did not.
Listen, okay. Did you ever want to sleep with Trisha? I mean, I'll be real. We slept together.
Y'all heard that.
Character, or unfortunately I do know my ex. And when it comes to my ex, I mean, I know he'll anything that got legs.
Oh, yikes.
I don't know Trish to speak to that because I definitely know how Martell is. So maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I wasn't there. So
I say we did not.
Listen, okay. Did you ever want to sleep with Trisha? I mean, I'll be real. We slept together.
He did express, how much he still loved her. He did. It was nothing sexual. And like I said, despite what people say out there about Martell, he did not try to hit on me while we were there. He did not try to come on to me. She
said, while we were there. Did y'all get that? While we were there, he did not try to come on to me. Coming from Anthony Lote, shout out to Anthony. But anyway, Arian is over there talking to Anthony, right? Meanwhile, we're watching this now. This after this. Martell done did it again. He done disrespected his baby mama again. He got Melody sitting on that stage now. Melody like, you can have him. You can have him, Arian. She don't have to deal with that no more. So Arian, this is on you, cause this is your man. This not Melody man no more. Melody is telling everybody that was her ex. And anybody with legs, he gonna screw because he just disrespected you again, Arian, and said that he screwed Trish, right? That's your man now. He screwed it, and he got her on the show. Everybody, all his girls get on the show except for you. And he puts it off on Melody, but face it, the man don't want you on the show. That's why he took you in front of production and said $1 million because he know you're not no celebrity. You know they're not finna pay him no $1 million for you because he did not want you on the show. Meanwhile, you want this family dynamic with him, right? I remember you telling Anthony there may be a wedding. You would love to marry him, but you're talking negative. You're always talking negative about his children. Meanwhile, you want to know why he don't ever stand up for Paris because they say Paris is bullying his kids. So why he won't stand up for a child that's not his against his own kid. I don't know. But anyway, y'all, he done did it again. He on national TV telling people that he screwed Trish. He acknowledging Trish, y'all. He don't acknowledge her like that. Anyway, this is Anthony. Anthony, he gonna get them interviews, y'all.
Yeah. I take my son to urgent care. He was a little under the weather.
I'm sorry.
But other than that,
so she said she took a kid to, it must have been with Chucky. He was under the weather. So, that's how they start off the conversation. And, of course, Anthony said, I'm sorry to hear that. Now, Anthony's so patient with her. I have to give it to Anthony now. He's very patient. He make me laugh. He'd be like, That'd be so funny to me. But here's Anthony and Ariel.
I am doing good. But what's going on now? That shit you gonna call me?
Girl, so I went live. I was on my Instagram and I was listening to my YouTube with her. I said, oh shit, now they think I'm talking to her. I said, okay. Okay, whatever.
So crazy.
So
and they gonna make up anything.
So I completed some of the questions. Huh?
Okay, good. Go ahead. I'm listening.
So let me pull them up because I'm actually on the road right now. I just pulled over at Burger King to get something to eat too. Hold on, let me where I put those questions at. So now just put me in the box of every other blogger. Okay, don't look at me just as an individual. So just think of me of talking to you like if you did this on YouTube, like you said you was gonna do a TikTok or whichever platform you was gonna use. Imagine multiple bloggers coming up to ask you a question. All right. So if I was to ask you a question, Ariel, how do you feel when people call you coleslaw? How would you respond to that?
I mean, it doesn't bother me when people call me coleslaw because I know who I am. Mm-hmm. It's just another name. Like, it doesn't bother me at all.
Well, what about the peasant? What about him saying that he's screwing Trisha over there and you want to be known as that girl?
All right. How do you feel when people compare your child to his siblings to make it seem like he isn't up to par like the other siblings are?
Well, I know what goes on in real life. So, a real life Martell ain't nothing no kids about it. That's all.
Okay. What is it about?
Responses so far, how do you feel that people gonna be like, she just not affected? Like, because I want to give I don't care, but nonetheless, a lot of like, if it's a lot of comparisons, I really don't even see it. The main two I feel like is the most fun is the oldest and the youngest. That's just how meaning Mariah and I. So people gonna say whatever, but I don't know. I didn't know the comparison like that.
Yes, you do. Because you went on with a rant, Ariel. You went on a rant saying that Martell made a difference. He said that his little Chuck is not like his own kids. And you also compare yourself. You compare the kid yourself. You trying to say that your son was potty trained when little sugar mama wasn't potty trained. Then you get on the internet and you saying that we be talking about your child. Every time you talk about Melody kid, somebody say something and then you get upset. But let me nevertheless, y'all. She said, don't none of this bother her. But you just not long ago made a post that Martell do not defend Paris.
It's my personal opinion, to be honest, I honestly feel no matter what you say, they're still going to run with whatever. But that's just the industry.
That's why it's like, do you even think I should even say anything, address any, like, what do you think?
I honestly think you shouldn't.
You think I shouldn't? Something they just said me and Martell was in the gym fighting. I got people like real deal, my real friends calling me, they don't call about a lot of stuff, but this they call. And when I see the picture of them putting some emojis over her head, and all I did was a 2-second Google search, woman fighting in the gym. And it was an article from this lady in Florida some year ago who this man tried to attack her, and she beat him up. And it's just like the things that people say. And I didn't even go back to address that, we wasn't in the gym fighting, because it's just like, I bring more attention to myself when I say something.
It's
So how do you feel right now when he passing Trish off as his gym partner, not you? See, you always coming on like you are the it girl, but right now on national TV, right now Trish is his it girl for the gym and not you.
so if you did this and one of the bloggers came up and said, what is it about Martell that got you still around him besides him being the father of your child, how would you answer that question without throwing Martell under the bus if there was an issue?
Like, okay, so ask the question again.
So if somebody, let's just say if another blogger came up and say, Ariane, tell me, what is it about Martell that made you fall for him and that's making you stay with him outside of him being the father of your son?
Martell is very charismatic, and it's not me. Honestly, me and Martell could have been done years ago. Martell persistently pursues me.
So were you saying you weak? You a weak woman? Is that what you saying? I hear this all the time from you, Ariane. What are you teaching your daughter that this man constantly disrespects? He's disrespecting you right now, saying that he's screwing on Trish. He's disrespecting you right now, Ariane, with saying that Trish is his gym partner, right? And you constantly say this man is pursuing you. You are a weak woman. You don't show no strength. What are you teaching your daughters that men they can do what they want to do. They can disrespect you in public. They can ignore you. They can act like they don't know you. I'm talking about Martell. But all you can come up with is because he gives you some attention or he keeps pursuing it.
So with you saying that right there, okay? Now you saying he consistently he's pursuing you. How does it make you feel to see that, like him and Sheree the situation? Now they're saying that he's calling Sheree, trying to get back with her. Like, how does that make you feel for you to say that he's still trying to come after you, but it seems like in the media he's trying to get back with Sheree? Is it?
I didn't even know he was. I didn't even know that was going on in the media.
Yeah, that's what's going on now.
It doesn't make me feel like nothing because even when he was dealing with Sheree, he told me what it was. It's a real life and it's a TV life and it's a
So right there. So with you just saying that, so was that true that Melanie said that it was a business relationship?
If you're thinking about your power, something is very wrong. That's why Greystone Power is out in the community, making sure we live up to our...
Well, their relationship was a business relationship. They were supposed to get divorced.
Girl, that man married her. Y'all see how she could... Now, y'all, how does this end up on Melody? It's supposed to be about you and Martell. But she's saying that Melody and Martell relationship was a business relationship. All relationship is based on economic, you guys, right? Because you got to work. You got to have some kind of income coming in. But he married her. That was his wife. The delusion of this girl. Ariane, he's so disrespectful to you. But he can tell you anything and you can believe it. That's how I know. He know you a weak person. He know you got a weak mind. I could tell her anything. He always tell the blogger, well, I ain't worried about her. And he don't. Because you are weak.
Or they got a call and they told them to fake it. So, I mean, that's just what people do.
Oh.
He did.
They were married. There was nothing fake about their marriage. When you met him, he was married. So there's nothing fake about that.
And with Melody, I wouldn't doubt that he did it with Sheree.
Oh, wow. So if they got a call from production, would Carlos be the one that made the call to them, telling them to fake it? Because
I'm not sure exactly who made the call or however that went and said. But, you know, I mean, before I had probably thought that it was probably Carlos, but I don't know because, you know, like, I'm not sure exactly, but yeah, they was told to take it. They were supposed to be divorcing.
So let me say, the show.
The reason why Ariana would never film because Carlos promised Melody that if she did the show, I would never film.
Okay, so the show came out in 2019, right? That's when it first premiered, the show. So prior to this show coming on, were they already going to get ready to divorce before that?
They were.
And is this what Martell told you? Like you knew for a fact from Martell? Or
this is what Martell discussed with me as well, but Melody was calling, texting me, putting us in group messages. You can have me. You can. So I only go off of her.
Yeah, you can have that, man. I'm gone. I'm out of here. Just like she's sitting on the stage right now. Y'all up in the end. It's the same old stuff. Same old. You could have him. That's right. You can have him because you know what? We're divorced right now. He's still doing the same thing. He just said that we just said he screwed Trish. He been with Trish. He been with so many people besides Sheree. You still there. You still there. Yeah. That's why I say you weak. That's why I say you teaching your daughter to be weak-minded just like you. You're teaching your daughter that a man don't have to respect you. Just as long as he come over and say hi to me.
And he is.
Gotcha. Oh, wow.
You see how messy this is getting? You see, and when I say you asking a good question, you was giving it to us.
I mean, it's confusing. It really is confusing. So with you saying Martell was discussing things with you about his relationship with Melody, did that not make you kind of look at Martell as a red flag? Like, hold on, look, what we're doing isn't
discussing things as far as like, we get a divorce, we're not doing well, but he's discussing things like that like any other man would to keep me there. So, this is what me and do.
Yeah, so
because he wasn't sitting up here saying, I really didn't even know what they had going on, honestly. Like, I never did.
You never did. You did know that man was married, girl. Okay, you guys. Now he's divorced, right? The thing of it is, y'all, I'm gonna end it with her. It's the same old thing. Thanks, Anthony. Anthony really asked her some great questions, Anthony. He did a great job. But listen, the girl is just weak. She said, honestly, I never did. I never knew nothing. You knew that the man was married with children. And guess what? You also know now that they're divorced. And you know now that he's not asking you to marry him. He's still out with other women. He just disrespected you. He's on that stage claiming Trish. That him and Trish, that's his gym partner, not you. He claiming Trish. He done screwed Trish. You nowhere to be seen, nowhere. He don't acknowledge you, girl. He don't want you.
When did you go over Martell's house? And why did you deny it in the beginning?
But first of all, let me just say,
I don't know who put that blonde hair on her, but it's just not hitting, y'all. It ain't hitting.
In the beginning, I was confused. I was new to all this. But then outside
you was confused by telling the truth?
Well, by telling all my business, like,
wait. Go ahead on, Carlos. Now, that was a dig right there. Carlos said you confused by telling the truth. Yeah, she gonna tell, I don't want to tell all my business.
But I did tell Martell outside the gym. I said it was okay if you said, I didn't know if he didn't want me to know him or he didn't want to know me. I was like, okay, if he didn't mention it, am I supposed
But why hide it?
to fall back and not say anything? Or is there something, I don't know, how does this work? I'm still learning new to this because nothing happened, so it was okay.
You very new to telling the truth. Oh, That's all you. That's all you have to tell everybody. Nothing happened. It's all okay. But you went to you didn't go to the man's house. You didn't really know the man. Then when you find out that they say you went over his house, he needed training. You had to train him strictly job related. Then Martell busted you said more than one time. Oh.
Have you and Martell ever had sex?
No.
Have you and Martell ever kissed?
No.
Has Martell ever sent you pics?
No.
Have you ever sent pictures to Martell's phone?
No.
Has Martell ever said he wanted to sleep with you?
No.
Have you ever?
And you know what? That's the jealousy coming from him. He's sitting up there. He want to know those things. It remind me of Coleslaw. When Coleslaw was supposed to be up there interviewing that woman and Marceau and Uncle Festus, what they did and created one, she went off and started asking the same kind of questions about Martell that this man asked. Did he sound like, y'all hear that?
Or wanted to sleep with Martell?
No.
So when you went over his house, what happened?
We just talked about his marriage. He was going through a divorce, and so was I. He did express,
She said, so was I. You still married. You ain't going through no divorce. You still married. You're going through a divorce, and so was I. So that means that you were married. A married woman over this man's house, and this man was married. That's why Melody can't trust you, boo. Cause, you never tried to work on a relationship.
But you still loved her. He did. It was nothing sexual. And like I said, despite what people say out there about Martell, he did not try to hit on me while we were there. He did not try to come on to me. He did not try to do anything.
Party's original bag packs 2 full-size favorites plus fries and a drink for just $5.99. No junior
So it's like that right there was pissing me off. Because I'm like, it was escalated bigger than what it was. Nothing happened.
Marcel act like he in another line. He's so zoomed out.
Do you believe that nothing happened, Melody, between Trisha and Martell?
Yes, me.
Could you sit next to me?
I don't know Trish, you know what I'm saying, to really speak to her character, or unfortunately I do know my ex. And when it comes to my ex, I know he'll anything that got legs.
Oh, yikes.
I don't know Trish to speak to that.
I'm pretty sure your kind of going up way further than mine.
I definitely know how Martell is. So maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I wasn't there. So
I say we did not.
Listen, okay. Did you ever want to sleep with Trisha? I'll be real. We slept together.
Y'all heard that.
Character, or unfortunately I do know my ex. And when it comes to my ex, I know he'll anything that got legs.
Oh, yikes.
I don't know Trish to speak to that.
I'm pretty sure your kind of going up way further than mine.
I definitely know how Martell is. So maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I wasn't there. So
I say we did not.
Listen, okay. Did you ever want to sleep with Trisha? I'll be real. We slept together.
He did express, how much he still loved her. He did. It was nothing sexual. And like I said, despite what people say out there about Martell, he did not try to hit on me while we were there. He did not try to come on to me.
She said, while we were there. Did y'all get that? While we were there, he did not try to come on to me. Right where? In the house? Where did y'all have sex at? Not in the house. Are you saying it not in that house that y'all did not have sex? Where did y'all have sex at? Because she said he did not try to hit on me while we were there. She didn't say that we didn't do nothing. She said while we were there, meaning in that woman's house. He did not try to come on to me while we were there. And she probably told him, we have to go somewhere else and do that. Because Melody might walk in the door.
Nothing sexual. And like I said, despite what people say out there about Martell, he did not try to hit on me while we were there. He did not try to come on to me. He did not try to do anything. So it's like that right there what was pissing me off. Because I'm like, it was escalated bigger than what it was. Nothing happened.
Do you believe that nothing happened, Melody, between Trisha and Martell?
Why are you asking me?
Could you sit next to?
Y'all see they dressed alike. How did they? Every reunion, them two dressed alike. I don't care where they go. If you get Carlos and Martell go somewhere together, they are dressed alike.
I don't know Trish, you know what I'm saying, to really speak to her character, or unfortunately I do know my ex. And when it comes to my ex, I mean, I know he'll anything that got legs.
Oh, yikes.
I don't know Trish to speak to that.
I'm pretty sure your color's going up way further than mine.
I definitely know how Martell is. So maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I wasn't there. So
I say we did not.
Listen, okay. Did you ever want to sleep with Trisha? I mean, I'll be real. We slept together.
Wait, what?
I'm just kidding.
I was
No. Do you find that funny, Ken?
That's not funny.
Ken said that shit not funny. Oh! Ken said that shit not funny. But let me tell you, Ken know the truth. Ken have always suspected that they slept together, you guys. Yeah, Ken have always suspected that. I mean, everybody, even Marceau. But this was a dirty, low down reunion where all of them gang up on this woman. Gang up on Melody. And the gang up on Melody, gang up on her children, and Martell is the head macho on it. Now, Martell, he didn't say nothing when they started talking about those children. That's his kids too. He didn't open up his mouth at all and say, how dare y'all have a double standard up here? Because they almost fought over his kids out there at Madonna, them talking about his children. Them Scots talking about his kids, they kept his children names in their mouth. Right there at me, Donna, that's what they were almost about to fight about. Okay, y'all. Not only did we see... Hey, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Let me get this down. Remove. Oh, that's better. Woo. All I saw was that white screen. I'm like, what happens on here, on this internet? How y'all doing out there this wonderful morning? 8:07 in my neck of the wood. What time is it in your neck of the woods? Grand Rising, everyone. Grand Rising. Oh, Lord. So we see Love and Marriage Huntsville. This is the same old lines keep repeating itself, right? Same old stereotype. Got these threesomes trying to recreate that with this storyline with Martell and his women. It's just the storylines that they're, yes. Anyway, let me put this up, y'all. I have to detox. I have to go back to my ancestor to detox from these people. Psychologically slave syndrome. When you trying to dehumanize Melody, y'all trying to dehumanize this very woman that put the blueprint out there and reached back for her community. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. If I'm going higher, I'm gonna bring y'all up higher with me. But what do? They dehumanize this girl. Well, not this girl. They try to dehumanize Melody. That's why, y'all, I'm finna put Dr. Joy on. Y'all just listen to some of Dr. Joy. This is just beyond me. It's psycho. Do something to your psychic to see somebody so low down, right? To another human being. A black woman, a mother with 4 children that's out here trying to make it for her and her children, make life better for her and her children. That's a single mother. And they got the nerve. They got the nerve, y'all. They older than this young girl. They not even trying to push her forward. It don't matter if she younger than y'all and she got more skills than y'all in the business world. Y'all still could learn from her. She ain't did nothing to none of y'all but try to lift y'all up. I don't know where y'all get this personality traits for, but it ain't right. Y'all going on 50-some years old. Multi-generational trauma. Nobody has studied the psychological mental impact of slavery. Dr. Joy talk about post-traumatic slave syndrome. This is what we getting ready to listen to, you guys. Oh yeah, I forgot, y'all. I got to say my little lady sitting up here. Yeah, when you acknowledge and honor the ancestral spirit, your lineage, your DNA within you, that's when nature smiles within you, y'all. Honor your ancestor. Never forget. Don't forget your ancestor. Oh no, why you just can forget about slavery? That was a long, long time ago. The fact is, it wasn't. It's still here. I'm still here. Martin Luther King children still alive. It wasn't that long ago, y'all. Okay, y'all. I'm finna put out Dr. Joy, right? Dr. Joy Degruy, that lady is bad. That lady has done studies on what slavery has done to us, multi-generational, from one generation to the next. Because see, that trauma that we endured just wasn't no one-time trauma. We talking about hundreds and hundreds of years of trauma that we pass along to our children as well. You're going to be listening to Dr. Joy Degruy, and it goes right into this, what we're watching on Love and Marriage Huntsville, these people, personality. I don't know if theirs been so psychologically damaged, their minds or their personality been so damaged from slavery or not, but they are exhibiting a whole lot of trauma in their mindset, and they're bringing it live to us on screen, you guys. But see, the thing of it is that they don't care. Allegedly, they have no conscience, no morals, no integrity, no nothing. How you gonna just try to bite the hand that's helped feeding you, putting bread and butter on your table? Bought y'all in. This was this woman creation. I write books, y'all. There's a lot of brainstorming and trying to create something and put it out there. And then she has to go shopping around and try to bring her dreams and her goals, her creation to life. It happened. And she bring these groups of people in, not knowing them that well because they are her husband friends, right, you guys? Her husband friends, because she didn't come from Huntsville. I forgot what little town she in, but I know it's some part of Alabama, but she wasn't raised in Huntsville like Martell was. So Martell has the advantage of her of knowing all these people in the streets now. Street people. Street. And they hustling. Allegedly they like to hustle people. What is the psychological damage that slavery has done to our people? Is it multi-generational or what? This is Dr. Joy Degruy. This is Dr. Joy, you guys, and she talk about post-traumatic slave syndrome, and it goes on. It's multi-generational trauma that affects all Americans, not just blacks, but it affects Black America, but it affects others as well. This is Dr. Joy, y'all. We have never got any kind of we have never gotten any kind of help after slavery. This is trauma after slavery. She's talking to a whole classroom of clear people. Let's just listen to Dr. Joy.
About one trauma. We're not talking about a specific event. We're talking about generations of trauma with no intervention. Based on what I know about sugar plantations, tobacco in the Caribbean, what I know about American chattel slavery and the plantations there, does anyone right now ever recall mental health assistance to slaves? Anybody remember sending in the therapist after I sold off your son, daughter, raped folks? At any point? Never. Second question. After slavery was officially over, now you're free. Anybody remember any therapy there? We know it's been rough, it's been deep for you, it's been difficult. We're gonna do a little group therapy. Anybody remember that? That would be no. Number three, after slavery officially ended, both in the States, in the Caribbean, the British, in the do you remember whether or not trauma continued? Did the trauma continue for people of African descent? I need to know. Okay, so now let's do the math. Hundreds of years of trauma, no treatment. Freed, more trauma, no treatment. What do you do the math? Do you think there may be residual impacts of that trauma? Of course there is. It didn't end, friends, and it hasn't ended yet. So I think on one point, African people and people of African descent are extremely resilient. Matter of fact, I think we're a miracle. Far be it for us to pathologize or to look and cast this idea of weak and sick people. Oh, on the contrary, I'm profoundly resilient because we've done everything we've done thus far with no help, with not even the ability to have this discussion. As though it were possible, we escaped injury in all those hundreds of years and the years that follow. So this kind of journey I'm going to take you on is going to be one that really gives a perspective on what this trauma was, what it looks like, and clinically, what is post-traumatic stress disorder? What does it look like? And let me give you a little snapshot. We'll get into it in more depth a little later. But post-traumatic stress disorder, if in fact you are diagnosed with that, again, remember, direct or indirect trauma, here are some of the symptoms. A feeling of foreshortened future. Now, what does that mean? A feeling, well, you're not going to live long. How many of you are running into young people that don't believe they're going to make it past their 20s? Feeling of foreshortened future. Exaggerated startle response. Outbursts of anger. Difficulty falling or staying asleep. Hypervigilance. Right? These are symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder. This is like DSM stuff, Diagnostic Statistical Manual Mental Disorders. It's in there. And there's a whole listing of all these symptoms. Now I want to roll it back so you can understand what the transmission theory is, because I'm going to talk about transmission. So how does a person that's been traumatized by post-traumatic, literally has a diagnosis of post-traumatic stress disorder, and can we, if we are logical and we are reasonable people, assume that a fair number of Africans had to have had post-traumatic stress disorder? You think? I'm not talking about us, I'm talking about them. Untreated though, right? Okay, so now let's do the math. Mom who saw dad sold or sister raped has post-traumatic stress disorder. Still mom though, right? Only mom now has outbursts of anger, feeling of foreshortened future, difficulty falling or staying asleep, hypervigilance. That would be mom. Now, Johnny or Mary or Shaquisha did not have the original trauma. But what are they learning? This is called social learning theory. What am I normalizing? Exaggerated startle response, outbursts of anger. Are you following me? So I didn't have to be traumatized. Now, the other thing is, do you think Johnny and Mary got traumatized too? Do you see? So what happens in your environment, you learn from the significant others in your environment. And if they're broken, guess what you're going to be? You're learning from broken people. And you're normalizing that behavior. And then it becomes, years later, 2008, that's their culture. That's just the way they are. That's their culture. So there's poison in the cookies, right? But how are you going to tease out that poison? That means you have to look at the etiology of the behavior, which is what I spent many years doing. And it's not rocket science. This is not deep. Like I said, this is not required that, someone has, it's just common sense. How many of you in the room think you can cook? Come on now. I know it's a strange place. You all have the oddest food in the world. I'm trying to tell you that now. Those of you that know how to cook, who taught you how to cook? Mom, dad, family. Who you think taught them? Hello, social learning theory. You learn from those in your environment. And if they couldn't cook, the likelihood is you can't either. Okay. So there's things that we don't question them. This is what goes in the curry. What are you talking about? This is how you make curry. Well, how you know? Because that's the way my mother made it. Well, maybe, she didn't get the recipe right. Actually, I wrote Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome, the book, which is here. The book is called Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome, America's Legacy of Enduring Injury and Healing. I recently have written a study guide, which is being edited now. But the reason why I wrote the book is really to put a name to what I was looking at. I started to look at behaviors in African people and people of African descent. A long time, people ask me all the time. I just was interviewed by ABC, and they wanted to know, where did this come from? It came from growing up Black. No, there's nothing deep there. I grew up looking at Black folks and wondering why we behaved the way we did. Very little had to do with white people. Very little. I was looking at Black people, and I wanted to understand our behavior. I am 50 years old, and I remember looking at people who were, growing up in South Central Los Angeles. That's where I grew up. My parents are from the South, from Louisiana, and from Belize. And one of the things that I started to notice are certain behaviors that Black people engaged in that I started realizing, not just African Americans, African Caribbean people. I came here, heard the same thing, behaviors around what we look like. Like, for example, I would hear people, and people here, white or Black or wherever you are in the spectrum, you've seen the behavior and wondered about it. I know you have, because I wondered about it. Where you have Black people that aren't Black. How many people have met Black people that actually aren't Black? Now, this is an interesting phenomenon. These are Black people that will tell you before, first of all, they certainly look Black to me. They look Black, but they don't say they're Black. I've got quite a bit of Indian in me. Did I mention that a lot of my family are from, all of a sudden there's something else, right? And you're looking going, sure could have fooled me. You look Black to me, right? Now, this would be something that I could ignore if it stopped when I was a child in South Central, but it didn't. You can hear it in rap music today. Same behavior. Matter of fact, the rap videos, they just need to clone the same girl, right? I can draw her right now, what she looks like. The little wavy hair, and she's Black, but not too Black. Okay, and what is that about? What is its etiology, and why does it persist? That means that it's an intracultural phenomenon that's being passed along through generations. But why? What is this self-loathing that I see in contemporary Black folks? I'm not going back to slavery. I'm talking about today, who hate and despise the reflection in the mirror. That's what I wanted to know. So that's what led me on my journey, if you will. Again, not an unusual journey. And of course, I'm going to kind of pop back and forth through British history and American history. James Madison was a very important figure in American history, President of the United States, 1751 to 1836. He said, Blacks are inhabitants, but as debased by servitude below the equal level of free inhabitants, which regards the slave as divested of 2/5 of the man. This is called the 3/5 compromise. And what they were trying to figure out is, what are we going to do? How are we going to count these Black folks? Because, based on how many people you have residing in a particular state, the more representatives you can send to the House of Representatives, and thus the more power that particular state can wield. So the question was, how do you count the slaves? Well, Southerners, who of course enjoyed slavery, they wanted to count them. They said, yeah, count them. That gives us more power. Where the Northerners saw it as an opportunity to abolish slavery, said, well, you can't count them because you don't consider them human. How can you count people who have absolutely no freedom that you do not count or treat as human beings? So the agreed upon solution is to count 3/5 of a state's total slave population. And so as a result, they became 3/5 of a man, divested of that. But it's almost as though you're not talking about a human being anymore. And that's what's scary about this. And I always start my talks by saying that when you see folks dressed up like this, and I know you all see a lot of them, you should get worried. I always get concerned when I see them dressed up like that, like this guy here. This next guy was someone that I struggled with. You all know him, Richard Oswald. He's the son of a Presbyterian minister, international trader of enslaved Africans. What's so deep about this gentleman is how wealthy he became as a result. He would be worth, based on the 1700s, right now he would be worth 68 million. Based on the number of slaves, the slave trade and colonies, ships, all the stuff that he basically utilized. But again, these folks are held in high regard. When I read about him in your history, you would never know. Google it. You'd never know the ugly trade that he was engaged in because we've sanitized it, you see. It all got kind of sanitized. But what's important is to understand the wealth amassed. And see, this is where people get afraid, particularly Europeans. This is where the whole, oh my God, dare I say the big ugly word, most folks are afraid of, because we don't really care too much about the healing stuff. Go on and get better, you people. But don't try to touch the resources. That would be reparations. We don't want to have that conversation. We're okay if you all go heal, however you're going to do that. But let's not talk about the reparations story. But when you start looking at the wealth amassed, then you got to look at the Church of England. It gets real ugly, because then you start realizing what is a foundation for the Church of England. Folks that blessed the slave ships. And then, of course, and this is interesting about John Newton, because we all know about, the first thing you hear, John Newton, what's the next thing you hear? Amazing Grace. John Newton, Amazing Grace. Well, let's figure out what happened before he got Amazing Grace. He said slaves are lesser creatures without Christian souls and thus are not destined for the next world. Now, what becomes important about this kind, and you'll see it both in American history as well, and there is this kind of dehumanization of African people. Because you got to ask yourself this question: how do people who deem themselves superior, who see themselves as the civilizers, who recognize themselves as what we call manifest destiny, the white man's burden of civilizing all the rest of the races, how do you reconcile being the superior being and engaging in barbaric behavior? What that produces is something called cognitive dissonance. How many people are familiar with that? Cognitive dissonance is really thinking discord. It's when you begin to feel conflict between what you believe or understand or hold to be true, and you are then faced with behaviors, either in yourself or others, that conflict with your fundamental belief. It produces cognitive dissonance. Human beings don't function well with cognitive dissonance. You must remove the cognitive dissonance in order to function. So in order for people to perpetuate slavery and to perpetuate that whole system that lasts for centuries, you had to remove all dissonance associated with it. Can't be anything wrong with me. Certainly isn't us. We're the civilizers. We're the superior. So it must be them. Oh, yes. Well, you see, they don't even have souls. Now I can go to sleep because I'm not really dealing with a human being. Are you following me? Okay, let's see what else he said. He said, when the women and girls are taken on board a ship naked, trembling, terrified, they are often exposed to the wanton rudeness of white savages. The prey is divided upon the spot. Look at the choice of words, the prey. Resistance or refusal would be utterly in vain. And then he says, I sinned with a high hand. Yeah, and then he wrote Amazing Grace. Okay. So it's really important to understand that hand in hand with the behavior was a mindset that is so damaging. You see, I call it the secret. Not the secret that everybody's been talking about, that secret. This secret is the kind that makes you sick. How many people here are in mental health, have done direct mental health treatment with folks? If you know that the secrets make us sick, yes? Isn't it the secrets that cause people the pathology? Right? How long have white people had to hold this secret? How long and how many generations had to stop and pretend Grandpa didn't do what he did? That the wealth we enjoy was not on the backs of some of these little girls. Think about how long one had to keep that secret. And the only thing you can do is either pathologize the other. It's all their fault because it certainly wasn't great granddad. Look how well he dresses. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when I say that this pathology goes hand in hand, I kid you not. Then you have science. And whenever we are in a process of trying to legitimize things, it's so amazing. You know, people always say this to me, even Black people, when they hear about post-traumatic. Because you know it's not correct unless you can count it and measure it, right? Science is the final. It is the number one. If you can say it's scientific, then you basically trump everything else, right? Science determines reality. So if we can scientifically assert a thing to be true, then in fact it is true because it's scientifically proven. It's a scientific fact. Matter of fact, that's what people will tell you when you try to say to them, well, I don't know if I agree with you. You know, it's scientific. It's a scientific fact, what I'm saying here, right? Which somehow makes it what? True. And it's also in a book. Now let's do the math. It's in a book and it's scientifically proven. Did anybody here realize that recently we lost a planet? Can anybody know what planet we lost? How you lose a planet? You know, I became fond of the little picture with we lost a planet. We didn't lose a planet. You know what it means? Science was wrong. Now, have they ever said, you know, we were wrong about that planet thing? No. It's called a paradigm shift. So let's go to science. And I think it's important that we do. So we go to someone named Carl von Linnaeus. Now, Carl von Linnaeus becomes an important character in this whole conspiracy of silence and legitimacy and removing the dissonance. Carl von Linnaeus developed a system based on a criterion of skin color and laid the basis for 19th century racial classification. Linnaeus properly began the science of anthropology. So here we have the father of anthropology. Although color classification of races dated back to the ancient Egyptians, anthropologists refer to Linnaeus' Systema Naturae of 1735 as the first modern study of man. While Linnaeus advanced classification with his use of a color criterion, he also fixed on his 4 families of man certain moral and intellectual peculiarities that continued into the 19th century anthropological vocabulary. He described Homo Americanus. Who might that be? That would be Native American, American Indians. Homo Americanus. And what did he say about them? He said they were reddish, choleric, obstinate, contented, and regulated by custom. Homo Europaeus, as white, fickle, sanguine, blue-eyed, gentle, and governed by laws. Homo Asiaticus, that'd be Asians, as sallow, grave, dignified, avaricious, and ruled by opinions. And Homo Afer, as black, phlegmatic, cunning, lazy, lustful, careless, and governed by caprice. These insights into what Linnaeus defined as racial character, personality traits, behavior, intelligence.
So make this make sense now. The person that wrote that don't have no sense. Because you were at home sitting down on that step, drinking you some cold ice water while we was out there in that field hustling, building, singing for you, cooking, nursing your child. You was so lazy till you wouldn't even nurse your own child. Mm-hmm. But you see how they could try to flip this around on you. My grandpa always told me it's always the opposite when they tell you something. Come, girl. Teach. This is Mrs. Joy now. You guys need to. This is mahogany culture. This is Mrs. Joy. Degruy. But you guys know I have to cover her face. You guys need to really check her out, okay? Y'all, just check this sister. This sister is bad. You hear me? Much respect. She teaching. Teach! I don't care if I put 2 or 3 of y'all in here. Different personality traits, behavior, intelligence.
Language, and a host of other related categories were transmitted into subsequent attempts at a science of classification and became more fixed than the races themselves. Not a shred of science here. But it is in a book. And it's touted as science. And what's more important, my students, I teach graduate students in social work. So to Dr. Leary, my God, we're looking at 1707 to 1778. We are, right? After all. But do you not hear these same attributions today? Those blacks, they're lazy, all of the exact same. Am I telling the truth? In your newspapers, in your accounts of them, do you not hear these very same things? So does it matter that it started in 1707 and 1778 and has no scientific merit? That's multi-generational, is it not? It's being passed along. Part of the swallowing into the social gullet. Those are the beliefs, you see. So it doesn't matter whether it's true or not. And thank you, Carl von Linnaeus. Again, he's removing the cognitive what? Don't they deserve to be treated the way we treat them? Have we not just justified what we've done? After all, I just told you this is who they are. We're not wrong. We're just trying to keep the domestic tranquility. Makes sense. I'm having a clicker thing. There we go. Johann Friedrich Blumenbach. Just look at him. He's not right. We can tell already.
Okay, you guys. So,
but he had to contribute his part as well.
I had to cover her picture, but
he says, now this man,
Johann Friedrich Blumenbach, Caucasian.
He was an individual. How many of you familiar with the term Caucasian? Oh, yes. Then you know Johann. He doesn't.
I got to finish watching it. This is Dr. Joy Degruy. She delivers a powerful lesson that leads a white crowd. Mahogany culture. This is where I'm getting this from. This sister is bad, y'all. She reminds me of Dr. Wesley, the late Dr. Wesley. Anyway, this is Black Titanic. Hit that like button, share, and subscribe. And remember, know thyself. Black. All right, you guys. Wasn't that some great teaching? That lady did a great job, because nobody never think about back in the days, 1716, 1800, 1900, even to the year 2000. Black people is just now really being aware and being comfortable with saying, well, I need some kind of mental help, right? So just think about, neither one of our ancestors ever got any help for the psychological trauma that slavery did to our ancestors. So it's this behavior, this mental thing that she talked about, this mental trauma, is multi-generational, and not just for us, but for the clear people as well. And I saw what you said, Queen, that they really suffer from the disconnects, because they're so disconnected from what their ancestors did. They don't want to give up that wealth. Like she said, they all right. We can talk about it to a certain extent, but when it comes to giving back that wealth that they took from our ancestors, that's where they draw the line. That's where that binary come in. That's where that racism come in. That's where that cognitive dissonance comes in. You lazy. You need to get out and work for what you need, but you ain't working for it. You done stole it from our ancestors, and now we here to claim it back in reparation. All right, you guys, I'm going to keep it going. Now we're talking about love and marriage, Huntsville Cass. This next going to deal with a little bit of legal stuff. My lawyer often called these people on love and marriage, Huntsville gangs. So these people have, not these people, the love and marriage Huntsville cast has gained up on Melody. Everybody knows that. All these people are going on 50 years old, right? Melody is in her 30s. They in their 40s, moving close to 50. And then Kimmy, she pushing the 60. And I don't know if Miss Fletcher already 60 or what. I don't know. She's about 63 to me. But I'm talking about Miss Fletcher. So we're talking about all these older adults that then gained up on the young lady, the very young lady that had reached back and tried to lift them up too. This put food on their table being on this platform, but they are ungrateful. Do they suffer from cognitive differences? But they suffer from something, a lack of morals, a lack of conscience. And what they try to do is they try to dehumanize the Melody. This last reunion, we're watching this to dehumanize this young lady, when yet it reflects on their personality, not Melody's. That's the beauty of what we see. We see that you guys are the one that's the demons. You guys are the one that's evil. But you try to make us believe that Melody is evil. Y'all is engaged in some barbaric behavior, you guys. They are. So much to, on network know about it. It's in the court documents. They know about this behavior, allegedly. Okay, this gonna be about this. This is some legal stuff. Some of my court documents is on here about how my lawyer feel like love and marriage Huntsville ain't nothing but gangs and criminals. Yeah, on network know about. She be in the courtroom arguing with on network lawyers. They had to know something, but yet they turning their backs on this young lady. All this toxic environment going on, not just Melody, but look at that. What this type of reality show is stereotyping Black people, feeding on all this generational or dehumanization of who we are. They engage in all this barbaric behavior, and this what's on TV. Yeah, on network should know.
Who's been putting false information out there, and I wanted to make sure that no one is misled by this information. First of all, my name is Maurice Jefferson Scott Sr. And if you're going to do research on a Maurice Scott, make sure that you're researching the right person. I'm Maurice Jefferson Scott. I do not have a criminal history. I've never been arrested. I don't have anything more than a citation or a traffic ticket. That's the most I have. Citations and or traffic tickets. That's the very most. Never been in handcuffs. My reputation is something that I'm very, very proud of. And I'm going to defend it. Second thing is, I think that we really need to separate some of this reality television from reality, okay? And there's an issue that sometimes if we don't see it on reality television, then it's not real. However, I'm an active practicing lawyer. So I'm not gonna play about my law license. That's another thing that I'm very proud of. Took me a lot of hard work. Graduated valedictorian in my class and passed the bar first time with flying colors. So not only am I an active practicing lawyer, I have multiple cases. And it's not just in Alabama. I have cases that are co-counseled in other jurisdictions. That's states as well, okay? So just want to make sure that you guys understand I'm going to protect both.
Where are they, Maurice? Allegedly, not in the courtroom of Madison, Alabama. Not one case, allegedly. You have never tried in the case of Alabama. So this is Maurice, right, y'all? This is who OWN Network is. You guys are spreading around about OWN Network being dismissed. Well, let's talk about it.
Wrong side of the law this morning, as Maurice Scott from Love and Marriage Huntsville is charged with driving under the influence. Investigators say this happened on Saturday. Well, Scott is now out on a $5,000 bond.
An I-Team instant investigation update. Wade 31 has learned the status of...
It's 2 warrants for me. He just brought me back.
2 warrants for your arrest?
Yeah, 1 for harassing communications and disorderly conduct from when that damn lady came to the warehouse.
The stalker lady?
Yeah, the stalker lady. The lady who had been riding around the city to every location that we've ever had for business, making all of these hateful videos about me. The one who's a millimeter. Yeah, her.
Wait a minute. How is it a warrant for you, but she came to your warehouse?
Because I cursed her out. Because I cursed.
But she violated your business and your space. So,
like, I gotta turn myself into jail. If they catch me out, like, they can arrest me.
oh God. Not be like.
What y'all don't know is, I actually had to turn myself into jail. That's what y'all don't know. Because of a millimeter. One of her proclaimed fans, for sure, came to my warehouse with her camera out and her friend trying to get inside.
Wow.
My phone went on live while I'm cussing and crying, and she takes that and go and swear for a warrant in front of a magistrate judge to get a warrant for my arrest for, guess what? Harassing communication.
For a woman to tell you that one of your fans had me arrested and you have no emotional empathy for it, like, that's crazy to me. And it's like stone face.
So this game, right? They act as a game on Love and Marriage Huntsville. As you can see how they ganged up on Melody on that girl's trip. Stormy is saying that BT, came to her establishment to try to get in it. I tried to enter it. And then they doubled down on it with the boss, the big boss, Carlos King. Yeah. The big boss, Carlos King, doubled down on it and said that I tried to enter Stormy Steele establishment in May 2023, y'all. Puppet master. Stirring up mess. Stirring up gang like a tibby on the trip. But Mel was such a boss to her. She wouldn't even let him go there with her. Cause you know why? The girl already know your spirit before you got there. She have peeped your spirit. So she's dealing with it. But they want to pull the millimeters in it. They want to pull BT in it. They're saying that I am a millimeter. So therefore, Melody need to do something about it. I don't know Melody, you guys. Why should I know Melody? I'm a part of their cast. Yeah. Made me out of storyline, made the millimeters out of storyline, then try to gang up on Melody and say, you need to do something about them. They out of order. Out of order because out of her attitude. Stormy now. Mel ain't had nothing to do the way you act that day, young lady. I was a customer come to patronize your business, right? And still try to have some peace. Trying to keep peace in the midst of all this mess because you got this personality that's so wild. You love drama. But anyway, so they bringing me into the TV, y'all. And they trying to blame Melody. It's wrong. All them gang up on this girl on that vacation, y'all. That girl's trip. But who she had with her was the right people. She had Lauren. She knows she can trust Lauren. She knows she can trust the other young lady. The ops, she say they are. So now, let's just go over these documents, and then I'll show y'all where she has a disorderly conduct too. And this is the second time that this woman has a disorderly conduct and want to blame it on me, how she create emotion that has came to me, right? Everything's alleged, just my opinion, and this is public information. When on through Scott committed fraud as shown and described here and below, Scott, who is the servant, and on the master. We're talking about the puppet master, y'all. Who is the big puppet master behind the big machine behind that producer there, that blogger producer that lied on me? Been reduced. Yeah, y'all. Been reduced. Just a producer for OWN. That's all. He has no clout in this. OWN is the masters behind this. But he's the front runner. Front runner producer for OWN Network. Anyway, so Scott the servant and OWN the master knew this conduct was negligent and reckless because Scott had placed OWN interests above his own. Y'all know now we got the other castmate. Oh my God. You got Martell, harassment communication, which is what this girl lied and said that hers was. Hers is not harassment communication. Hers is disorderly conduct and harassment. Stormy still. All right, number 55. Scott for the OWN interfered with Griffin when he filed a lawsuit. The original document 1, 2, and 3, and the case with unauthorized subpoenas 7, 8, 9, and 11. Now this right here is not this been out in the market about how we get this email that comes to our DM, whatever, and we shocked. It's him. It's him. Don't recognize him as a lawyer because he never used himself as a lawyer on Love and Marriage Huntsville. But anyway, it's him. Here we go. Unauthorized. Then you find out that the subpoenas is unauthorized, y'all. We knew that. This is before I even went to court. All this stuff been flowing out here. Because the filing were designed to place her and Griffin according to the facts stated herein. Griffin was a victim You hear that? I'm not a stalker. I am a victim. Get it right? My name is Miss Oma. Get it right? My name is not stalker out there in that YouTube world. Griffin was a victim and witness to an alleged crime when Scott for the own placed Spear and Griffin, according to the facts stated herein. Through search violence, Scott for own tampered or placed Spear and Griffin while she was a witness and a victim of an illegal crime of violence in an active criminal case going on against another own cast member, Stormy Steele, according to the facts stated herein. Let's get back to Maurice. Now, Maurice, very, very nasty towards Melody. We saw that aggression with Maurice. Melody questioning Maurice for a DUI. This counselor right here, y'all, the same counselor right here, Love and Mary Huntsville got this counselor on it, but yet he getting out here getting DUIs. And then Melody trying to make him be accountable because that was not a good look. She said, you know, the next day you hold a whole big old fifth of liquor, and you would dance with a fifth of liquor the day you got or the next day you got out of jail. Allegedly. Yeah. So he pissed off because she tried to make him at least give one of them famous Martin Luther King speeches that you always do. But he gave her a lot of aggression. Yeah, this is what this document is talk about. Y'all see that? All that aggression that he would give Melody. Mm-hmm. Let me start over, y'all. I'm just gonna go on through.
Sherry.
Oh boy. I'm just gonna go on through, y'all, okay? So start with 55, y'all. Scott to interfere with Griffin when he filed a lawsuit. The original document 1, 2, and 3 in this case with unauthorized subpoenas. Documents 7, 8, 9, and 11, because the felon were designed to place fear in Griffin. That's what he doing up there to Melody, y'all, trying to put fear in her to make her shut up. Griffin was a victim, a witness to an alleged crime when Scott for the own placed her fear in Griffin. And this is what Melody witnessed. She's seen it all over the internet. It's even on the news about this man DUI. But yet he trying to put fear in her, being aggressive. This is the type of stuff, y'all, that's going on Love and Mary Huntsville. To black women, this man getting so aggressive to this black woman. Trying to put fear in her heart. He pissed off because he can't see no fear. He can't see no intimidation in her. So it pissing him off for her to even just to say, hey, look, you need to have accountability. My grandmother died from a drunk driver. And I got hit too, y'all. Smashed like a sardine can between two 18-wheelers. Me and my grandkids. I love dancing, y'all. I had dance groups. We used to go out and compete. And I can't dance anymore like I used to. But anyway, 55, Scott interfered with Griffin when he filed a lawsuit. The original document 1, 2, and 3, in this case, with unauthorized subpoenas. Documents 7, 8, 9, and 11, because the felon were designed to place fear in Griffin according to the facts stated herein. Fear, that's what he tried to put in Melody. Fear, that's what intimidation in Melody. He got mad when he could not see any fear. He got mad. He couldn't intimidate her. She wouldn't back down. He got pissed off. He got aggressive with this black woman on Love and Marriage. Huntsville. Griffin was a victim and witness to an alleged crime when Scott placed fear in Griffin according to the facts stated herein. Through such violence, Scott tamper or place fear in Griffin while she was a witness and victim of an alleged crime of violence in an active criminal case against another cast member, Stormy Still. According to the facts stated herein, Scott knew such conduct was negligent and reckless, and even because, sorry y'all, try to find my plate, because of the time and place of Griffin while she was a crime victim. On knows all things, y'all. They know. They know. These facts are based upon observation, behavior, reporting, and the Love and Huntsville cast. Also, yeah, what's going on? As you can see, Stormy is crime victim, you guys. She gets in there. This is the ganging up on Melody. All of them ganging up, wants to make her condemn the millimeters. You need to do something about this millimeters. State where do you stand about these millimeters? And that old lady, old lady came to my establishment and tried to get in. Y'all know how she said it. The stalker, one of your millimeters. State where you stand. Let me tell y'all something. Disorderly conduct is what she want to blame this woman for. Her disorderly conduct. Her language. This not the first time. In Lamar County, y'all. I looked it up. We have a Lamar County right here in Georgia, y'all. Stormy Still, y'all. It says at 12 December the 4th. This time. I don't know when the year is. Oh something, y'all. We know that it's oh something. But we do know it's in the 2000 recently. December the 4th. She was charged with vandalism and disturbance of family. Disturbance of family is to me the same thing as disorderly conduct. Maybe she was inside the family home. But this time she was out there in public, her place of business. She was being disorderly in her place of business and want to blame male. That's right. Gangs. That's what they are. When the bully is crying, victim, state where you stand. Bullying this woman, you got the whole table and gain up on her. Good thing for Shanita was there because they were just banging up on this lady. One subject after next, attacking her with all these negative stories. Now they're using my likeness now. And the producer over there, that blogger producer, CK, they all set ganging up on me also. All in there. Using my likeness, gang up on my likeness. in the millimeters. My face is the face for the millimeters. Do something about the millimeters, they say. Yeah. So Stormy is brought into the courtroom and the millimeters, because of this gang-like activity, all this violent workplace toxicity. I'm right there. My spirit is there. Everything came out of their mouth for over a month was BT likeness. Made me out of a storyline. So now on network, I have to take notice of what's going on. We just putting you on notice what's going on network, if you didn't know. Now Stormy still done use my likeness as her storyline. And the counselor wife sitting up there. Counselor, why didn't you tell them that it was illegal? You guys, it's illegal for her to do that, to use my likeness while there is a criminal investigation going on between me and this girl. Using my likeness while and you guys, the bully is crying victim and trying to make Melody be the blame, but not on my watch. So we're talking about the aggressiveness and the anger and the unhingedness that we hear in Maurice's mind and his tone of his voice. He's talking to Melody because Melody wanted him to have some type of understanding as to what he has done, how that it was a dangerous situation, that he put everybody on the street in danger, being drunk. And then he like, how do you know? How do you know? You don't know what happened. She said, dude, it's public record. It's public record, dude. It's the police. It's on the police report, dude. He got so aggressive with Melody, you guys. And you know what? That is, it's the anger, the instability, the unstableness that he is. So Maurice was all in his feeling, y'all. He got the being so aggressive in his tone at Melody. He was popping out at her. I thought he was going to do something to Melody, right? Kimmy the same way. She had the same kind of smoke. Gang-like activities on here, you guys. But most of all, did y'all see how that man was running off at the mouth at that girl? So, through observation, behavior, and reporting, these facts appear correct. Yeah? So, the millimeters has been targeted and Miss BT. But number 52 says, boom, has at all time relevant, being aware that Scott is unfit and unstable. Because you see how when Melody tried to sit down and have a normal conversation with her, you saw how unstable he got and how unfit his personality was in receiving the message from Melody about the DUI. So Scott is unfit and unstable for the celebrity life. But Scott is useful to ratings and profit. When Scott filed a lawsuit in this case, in which he clearly cannot represent himself, he represents himself. Scott is negligent and reckless for because Scott has put own interest above his own. Oh boy, yeah. So these facts are based upon observed behavior reporting. I want y'all to know that love and marriage, Huntsville, is been very much observed and under scrutiny, y'all. They are, as y'all can see, also everything that they does to the millimeters, everything that they're doing to me, is under scrutiny in the court, you guys. And Love and Mary Huntsville show itself based upon observation, behavior, and reporting. These facts appears correct. So when Scott filed a lawsuit, in this case on behalf of the name, the reputation, and ratings of OWN, unregistered born LLC, you guys. They don't have a license to operate in Huntsville. So the unregistered born LLC represent any interest of OWN. Scott and OWN both knew that such a lawsuit is prohibited and forbidden by the Alabama Secretary of State. The lawsuit filed by Scott for OWN is nothing more than an infomerical and message from OWN. It is unregistered. OWN is unregistered. Like I said, Carlos is one of OWN producer. He's not operating under his own production, you guys. Kingdom Reign. I don't know why he agreed to do it. I can't tell you that. But I do know he is a producer and a blogger. That's what he is right now. He's one of the producers for OWN. So when Scott filed a lawsuit, in this case, as an infomerical for OWN, in this case, this is as a infomerical by OWN. Both Scott and OWN knew that such a lawsuit is prohibited by an unregistered foreign entity, LLC, in the state of Alabama. Again, they are not licensed. They do not have a license to work in the state of Alabama. These facts are based upon observed behavior, reporting. LMA show itself. The facts is based upon observation, behavior, reporting. These facts appear correct. When on through Scott committed 45 fraud, he committed fraud. She's going to show how he committed fraud, you guys. So you can see, even the millimeter was named. She talked about how the how hostile the environment get to where one group is put against another group. Gang-like activity, you guys. And for the most part, when these groups are say the millimeters put against the other groups, right? These people are hostile when they come after you. All because of a TV show. This is the toxic environment that Love and Marriage Huntsville is under Carlos King. Yeah, they just ganged up on one woman. Somebody that's younger than they are. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna see what you guys are saying. I will throw out a link if one of y'all want to come up. I'm gonna throw the link out for anybody that want to come up. You're just welcome, you know. All right, I'm gonna throw the link. So I thank you guys for being here, and this is really a serious matter that Melody is undergoing. It's very serious, you guys. Okay, the link is out for anybody that wants to come out. Let's just see what Queen said. Queen said the most cognitive dissonance on the show regarding Stormy's house. She came on the show. She sure did, y'all. She came on the show with the healing journey. Did y'all? She was born incest, candles. Yeah, she had all this peace. Like she was all about peace when she came home. She came on with the healing journey and the singing bowls. Yes. And she jumped right back into her true and natural ghetto self. That's Queen Common Sense, you guys. She is a content creator as well. Come on up, Cheryl. I know Cheryl got something to say. Oh, welcome, Cheryl.
Good morning.
Grand Rising.
Grand Rising, Mama. How you doing, my love? Good?
I'm good. What you got to say?
Oh, God, I tell you. I'm just glad Mel left the show. Like I said, allegedly, and in my opinion, I already know where it's coming from with Destiny. Allegedly, and in my opinion, she physically attracted to Mel anyway. I always felt like that. You know, I never seen somebody who take a friendship so hard when it ends. Her and Melody's friendship ended, and she been on a smear campaign since then. She didn't even take it this hard when LeBaric divorced her. Okay? So this is a low level, low vibrational, bottom feeding bee that's mad because Mel rejected her by one, letting her know I don't get down like that. That's one. And two, you can't be a part of my village. She told her that at the video premiere. She told Destiny this. You can't be a part of my village, but you can get your own village. And I don't want you around my kids. They don't even like you. So,
Cheryl, when Melody said that to her, I didn't realize what she was talking about. Like, dog, that's some shade Melody doing at the time, because I did not know Destiny personality. I do remember that too, Cheryl. Go ahead on.
Yeah. So, and this is just my opinion from what I see. Here it is 5 years later, and she's still talking about Melody. This is to me is worse than this single black female thing. This is way worse. And Martell is right behind it. He's the head ringleader. Everything she says, she's only repeating what Martell told her. She's another Ariane. I don't see why her, Martell, and their sister wife go somewhere and crawl back in the sewer where they slithered out of. Slither their ass back in there. Because at the end of the day, Destiny she's mentally unstable. That girl is mentally unstable. She is psycho. For her to be sitting on stage with that red dress on and that blonde wig, trying to look like Melody, it's eerie and it's cringe to me.
And you know what? She should feel embarrassed, because at the end, towards the ending of it, Tisha, I know she did it because she's trying to get on her husband's great side. Keisha kind of low-key took up for Melody. You know that?
Mm-hmm. She's only trying to deflect and project who she is onto Melody. This is what her and Martell are good at. They narcs. Like I said, they like to project and reflect who they are on somebody else. She like 3 ways. Not everybody like 3 ways. Okay? Mel don't get down like that. I don't even know Melody, and I know she don't get down like that. Never met her a day in my life, and I know she don't get down like that. But it's a rejection to Destiny. She was rejected. You know how they are when they get rejected. She been on this smear campaign almost 5 years, still talking about Melody. Her, Martell, Marceau, all of them, trash. The whole show. I hope they cancel the show. The show need to be canceled. And there might be, allegedly, in my opinion, a lawsuit coming.
I hope so.
Because she better be able to prove everything she said about Melody. They all better be able to prove it. They better have their receipts, and they better cross their T's and dot their I's.
Hold on.
All I can say.
Hold on. Welcome, Miss Denise up. Hi, Denise.
Hey, Miss Black Titanic. How you doing this morning? How you doing?
Good. What's on your mind?
I'm just gonna be brief. I just wanted to say, after watching what I'm watching, and then after you playing back some stuff that I kind of missed on, dealing with the Stormy and everything, I'm so glad that Melody has decided to leave. I'm glad she listened to the point where God say, go, let's go. Because the way they just ganged up on her and everyone kept saying it, they were like, something happened at this reunion, something happened at this reunion. And nobody could put their finger on it. And now that it's being showcased, now it's understood what they was trying to do, why they was trying to go and scatter it out, trying to do different narratives, because they all knew they gained up on her. And they knew they started a narrative that was worse than that was already out there. So again, I'm glad she's gone. But I'm also, like I've said so many times before, and I said this the other day, Mel is not going to show her hand. She's not going to tell everybody what she's doing. She's not going to put it out on the internet what she's doing. It's going to be a surprise attack. So, yeah, we can speculate, but the way she operates, the way she moves, it's going to be a surprise attack. So, yes, you best believe lawsuits is flying behind the scenes. But she ain't fit to announce it, and I don't blame her, because anything that gets out on this social media is gonna get it where it can mess up her cases, or they're gonna try to hide some stuff. So again, I'm glad she's being silent. I'm glad she's moving in silence, but I'm glad she's doing what she have to do as a mother to protect her children and her peace.
And so, that video talks about a generation of trauma. These people don't know that they have children and teenagers in high school that can see their behavior.
That's true. And that generational trauma is true. They want you to seek the help, but they don't want you to seek reparations, and that's weird. A lot of dealing with the PTSD, because I'm dealing with that as well. They don't want, that's something they don't want to talk about. There's something, when it comes down to the mental, no one wants to speak on it, because that word means something totally different to certain to the people. It means, when you say that word mental, they kind of want to label you and put you in the category of you in a ward, in a rubber padded room,
Yeah.
hugging yourself, that type of stuff. So that's why nobody want to discuss that word mental. And it's different layers of the mental. It is.
Yes. Yes, it is. This made Francis feel said, good morning, BT. In my opinion, Melody filmed her last show in October. Melody can't tell everything because of the contract. The truth will come out after this last reunion. In my opinion, Melody has handled her business. Let's see what happened. Thank you, Miss May. Yes. And she has told us a lot, though. Yeah, she really still has told us a lot. Somebody, you hear that? Somebody got static in their
Oh,
microphone.
it might be mine.
Cheryl?
Yeah, but
Okay.
my major concern is, as far as that concern, is these same maniacs, these psychos got kids, and two of Martell's children are older now, 12 and I believe 13, if I'm not mistaken. And he never stopped to say, you know what, my kids might see this on social media one day, 3, 4, 5, 6 years from now. You know how kids are; they smart when it comes to technology and the internet, Snapchat, and all that, and all that. He's not the least bit concerned that his kids are going to one day see this. Destiny's not the least bit concerned that one day Law going to see this. And they should be more concerned with what their kids are going to think about them. All they care about is social media and what people on social media think, and these Facebook groups. They're not thinking at all about how their kids are going to look at them when they see this. And they're going to see this one day. They're going to see that my father tried to put out a naked image of my mother on social media, and then had his concubine trying to help do it. Did he not think what his kids are going to think? I would think that a parent would worry more about how their kids are going to look at them. Because I'm going to always think about how my kids look at me, or how my daughter see me. That's why I don't bring men around my daughter. I don't bring no man. The man I'm seeing, I don't bring him around her. He better not even breathe on her too hard. She's 29 years old. They don't stop to think how this is going to affect their kids. That's my thing.
Well, let me read what Queen said. She said this segment of her interview with Al talking about coleslaw now. Like you're right, I'm piggyback off what you're saying, Cheryl. Not only does she have Love and Marriage Huntsville cast ganging out on her, she got this outside chick too that's not even on the show. She over there with Al getting Al interviews right now talking about who she don't talk about herself. She ended up talking about Melody 99.9% of the time when she's doing an interview. But anyway, the segment of her interview with Al proves that she clearly is not and never was that girl. Yeah, she's still talking about the same old thing. He always coming to me. I'm like, oh my goodness, the girl's so weak minded. That's what I say. You can't tell him get the hell out your face with that shit.
She talk about Mel more than she talk about Paris.
Let me see if Miss Denise have anything to say.
Oh no. I agree. I agree with Miss Cheryl, but she said she talked more about Mel than she do Paris. And again, like I said, Martell ought to be ashamed of himself, but he's not. I mean, I could say that till my face turn blue in the face. This man should have some type of conscience, but I see he don't. That you can just sit there and just let them dig at the woman that you claim to have loved, that you married and have kids with, and you done nothing. You done you done nothing to protect her or your kids. You just sitting there gloating all because of anger. He's mad right now. He's angry with Mel. He's trying to teach Mel a lesson. And the lesson is if you don't come back to me and you don't bring that money and those kids back into this house, or we be back a family, like I said, you won't have nothing when I'm done with you. That's his message to her.
Wow. And just don't want her to have no peace. If she don't have no peace, but it's killing him because he's looking at her rising. She's constantly rising and making him madder and madder that she's been successful without him. Because when he first separated from her, he was going around talking like he was the breadwinner of the family.
Right. Until she broke it down. When she pulled that money, she didn't even have to say nothing. She didn't have to come out public and say, "Oh, I did." No, she showed it. She pulled his cord. She unplugged the lights and everything, baby.
Yeah.
And that's embarrassing. Then when he did that so-called sit down with her and had those flowers and tried to say production made him do it, and she ended up breaking up and busting it out, threw it out there to the world that, hey, you don't have food at your house. I have to bring food over there. Oh, he got mad.
Yeah.
He got mad.
He wanted her to stand up there and pretend. But Winifred Shallow say it's the way he threw Trish under the bus for Mel. He clearly wanted the truth out and his conscience solved. Poor stupid Trish. Wow. Yeah, he said that he did something with it, y'all. Hey, I miss one of y'all need to mute your that noise is annoyance coming from the somebody's microphone. No, who is that? Nope.
Not me.
I think it was mine. I muted it.
Okay, Cheryl, what you got to say?
Yeah, well, Martell the cockroach. Wish he would take his crumbs, just like a roach, and go back in the corner. And the crumbs that he need to take in the corner with him is Destiny, Ariane, and his sister and her sister wife, Destiny. In my opinion, allegedly, that's what he needs to do, because Melody is gone. She is not coming back. Sorry, he can't accept that. He messed up his marriage. He destroyed his marriage. He couldn't keep his thing in the household. That's on him. But everybody's to blame. Melody's to blame for everything that's happened in his life, because he don't never take accountability, and he never will. Martell or Destiny ever will take accountability. They're mad because these two exes are glowing up. They're successful. They're making money, and they're moving on without them. And like you said, they can make it without them. So they're gonna put these two exes through a living hell, for her to go to court and accuse this man of being his son.
Wow.
And go to court and say he's DVing her. The judge don't even believe her. And when the judge don't believe you, you know ain't nobody else gonna believe you. And the only people that believe Destiny is the 2% who don't like Melody. They'll believe anything because they don't like her. So the judge don't believe she got charged 9 counts of forgery. If that don't tell you who Destiny is, nothing will.
Okay, you guys, I'm finna tune off, you guys. It's 2 hours and 25 minutes. I've got something to do today. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming up. Thanks you, Cheryl. Thank you,
Welcome, Mama.
Denise. Love you too. Thank you, Denise. Thank everybody in the chat. Thanks all my members, new members, old members. Thank everybody. Thank you, Nosy Rosie Graham and Queen Common Sense for the super sticker. Remember, you guys, Queen Common Sense is a content creator. Make sure you guys go over there. And on that note, y'all homework from BT is to go over there and listen to Dr. Joy Degruy. It don't matter what video you want to watch. Just sit under that lady and learn from her. Okay.
Okay. See you, Miss Black Titanic. Love ya.
Love you too. Love y'all. Oh yeah, y'all. We had a baby shower yesterday, and my niece, 2 daughters having their baby back to back. I think they about 1 week apart from each other.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, so we had a great time, yeah. And I actually met somebody on there. I'm gonna see if I could get her to interview her. She was either she told me she was at Melody wedding or she was at their wedding, but anyway. I just want to see if I could talk to her. I'm gonna see if I can interview her.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Game 50-50. Game 50-50.
I know.
All right, ladies, you got your fans? All right, now let's do a little work about what's up. Here we go, y'all.
Okay, bye, Miss Black Titanic. Have a nice day.
Goodbye. Thank y'all for being here. Love y'all. Love y'all.